Hey, what's going on, guys? So, today we are talking about They Live from 1988. This was, hold on while I fact check myself. Okay, adapted from 8 o'clock in the morning, which I'm assuming is like a short story. Yeah, short story by Ray Nelson. Boom. Directed by John Carpenter. In 1988, wow, what a year. I think Child's Play came out that year too. Anyways, They Live. It's stars Roddy Piper and Keith David, Meg Foster as Holly, and some other people. And it's about a drifter, I guess, in Los Angeles comes across a or I should say not comes across, but Keith David's character is working at the same construction job that he was able to get a job at. And they decide, or Keith David's character is like, hey, if you need a place to stay, you can stay over here. And it's like a homeless encampment in some park in LA. And so he stays the night, and then he notices that things are different, I guess. And so he gets curious, as people tend to do. And when he gets curious, he gets I wouldn't say he gets himself into some trouble, but just things go bad. So he finds the sunglasses, puts them on, and essentially realizes that all of, I guess, higher society, all the rich people, the elite group of people in America are actually aliens. And they are controlling everything you do. As far, I think it's specifically, they were really like targeting like media specific. So all the magazines had just, say obey or watch television. It's, just repetitive over and over sort of motion. And same thing with the billboards. And the news station even was shot from an underground spot where the aliens like to hide out on Earth. And yeah, so I think it was really focusing on media. But yeah, this film, I feel like, can go so many different ways, and people can sort of interpret it in whatever way they want to. But for the most part, I think it's just a talk on the elite essentially having control over the people. So, I mean, it's a very basic saying, but more money, more power, but then also more problems. So there's that. But I think that's the main talking point, is that the rich have a hold on everyone else because they have money and the power to do whatever they want. And so it's fun because it's very thought provoking at times, where people might think, well, just what if, maybe. But, it's not, me personally, I'm not saying it's not unlikely, but it's a huge stretch. So it makes for a very fun story. Um, I like Roddy Piper's performance in this. I feel like it was such a good pick for him. Or I feel like I didn't watch like any behind the scenes on this, so I don't know how John Carpenter went about um, who he wanted to play the main lead. But Roddy Piper was a perfect pick because it, he's he was a wrestler. I don't know if it was WWE, but he was a wrestler, And so he had the showmanship. He was a bigger guy, and he also had that fight scene. I mean, it's probably one of the best like fist fight scenes in a movie ever because it just goes on and on and on. And Keith David was such a champ for doing that because Roddy Piper, him being a wrestler, he's used to having to do that type of movements and just physical stuff because he would do it probably at least 4 nights a week for years. So he had the physical capabilities down. And I'm not saying that Keith David didn't also have his own physical capabilities, but Roddy Piper in this situation just has the upper hand over him. So Keith David, I feel like, probably had to keep up, a lot, and it was probably a tough scene for him to do. But that's why he's such a great actor, because he just gives such a good performance. Also, like, I enjoy that it is Roddy Piper because he's not the greatest actor, but I feel like in this role, you don't have to be if you can be fun when you're doing it. And I can tell he had a good time doing this role for sure. So a lot of people rated this 5 stars. I did a 4 out of 5. I just feel like it could be a 5 out of 5 if I seen it back in 1988, because it's one of those things where it's taken a huge jab at the media, who are the people that are putting out this film in the theaters and promoting it. And so for the time, it was definitely taking a big step and hoping that it sticks. And I think it did. Let me just check the box office here real quick. All right, They Live, so 13 million worldwide on a budget of 3 to 4 million. So just barely made its money back. So it didn't flop. That's good. But yeah, They Live. It's one of those films where it makes you think a decent amount. I wouldn't say a lot, but a decent amount. It has sprinkles of religion. It has sprinkles of conspiracy, but they're not like going over the fucking top with their conspiracies and whatever. And so, yeah, it's a great film. I would recommend anyone to go out and just watch it because it's John Carpenter. Why wouldn't you want to watch it?